Who will the 115 cardinals choose once the conclave convenes to replace the man who's bowed out after 8 years in the Catholic Church's hot seat? Two rival camps are reported to have developed, suggesting a power struggle within the Church's hierarchy. Too simplistically perhaps, the election of Benedict's successor has been described as a battle between traditionalists and reformers. The Vatican insists cardinals will be able to vote according to their conscience. As he said goodbye to the cardinals, many of whom he'd chosen, Benedict made his neutrality clear, whatever the outcome. "May the Lord guide you," he told them. "Among you is also the new Pope, to whom I today declare my unconditional reverence and obedience." There's too much uncertainty and secrecy, despite leaks and the prying eyes of the world's media, to talk of clear favourites. But among several names who've been mentioned as strong contenders, Brazil's Odilo Scherer, the Archbishop of Sao Paulo, has repeatedly cropped up. The 63-year-old multilinguist is seen as having close ties to the Curia, the Catholic Church's governing body. Old-fashioned he's not, at least in terms of technology. When he opened his Twitter account, he said if Jesus preached the gospel today, he would use it too. But while Scherer is seen as being in tune with the times, the reformist tag is pinned to another candidate seen as a front-runner. Angelo Scola was appointed Archbishop of Milan by Pope Benedict. He's 72, seen as a conservative and theologically close to the outgoing pontiff. He's said to be favoured by a group led by American cardinals who want to see the Curia's influence reined in, especially in the wake of the Vatican scandal and reports of infighting. But previous conclaves have produced surprises, and several other names have also emerged as potential popes. Many different factors are coming into play in the choice of Benedict's successor. Should the new leader be from outside Europe, a pastoral pope with charisma, or a good manager who can tackle the Church's problems and scandals head-on? The new man will need many attributes. He's unlikely to please everyone.
What are the different scenarios of the next conclave? Euronews met up with Giacomo Galeazzi, the Vatican journalist from the Stampa of Turin and the author of Vatican Insider, to find out the answer to this question. Mr. Galeazzi, who are the cardinals and tendencies that could determine the choice and management of the next conclave?
The congregations are beginning to focus on two names: Scola, the Archbishop of Milan, and Scherer, the Archbishop of Sao Paulo in Brazil, who is also the Commissioner of the Vatican for the IOR, the Vatican Bank. During the first votes for these names, there could be a kind of confrontation between members of the Curia and the cardinals outside of the Curia, who have been very critical of the management of the Vatican scandal in the general congregations.
Fortemente contrapposti nella richiesta di chiarimento, ad esempio, sulla vicenda Vatilix.
Are there any favourites in this conclave?
At the moment, there is a leaning towards the first ever non-European Pope. Vatileaks and the financial scandals within the Vatican have had a very harmful effect on the Curia and the Italian cardinals. This has weakened the possibility of a return of an Italian Pope after two foreign pontificates. So for now, the strongest candidate, with the support of Bertone Piacenza, the Secretary of State, seems to be the Brazilian Cardinal Scherer, who combines his pastoral activity of bishop in Sao Paulo with that of a man who, as a member of the Vigilance Commission of the IOR, is capable of managing the Vatican Bank.
In February 2012, Benedict XVI named 22 cardinals, most of them Italians. In November, he chose 6 non-European cardinals, almost as a way of balancing the conclave. Do you think the next pontificate will continue in the same way?
I think that the Ratzingerian purification will be a program of government which won't be able to not be so. The next Pope will inherit from Benedict XVI's management of the fight against sexual abuse within the Church and the purification of the financial scandals. We mustn't forget that Benedict XVI is the Pope who called for the resignation of about 80 bishops for having prevented the sexual abuse of priests and had re-established in the Vatican the authority to disclose financial information to bring to light and watch over the holy finances.
In Italy, it is said that he who comes into the conclave as a pope leaves as a cardinal, which means that those who are too much of a favourite at the beginning risk being hurt at the time of the vote. Is there any truth in that?
It's a fair way of looking at things. The general congregations which have characterized this pre-conclave phase have shown that the cardinals, especially those from the southern hemisphere, want to be protagonists in a demand for clarification, and they want the Roman Curia to be reformed in a way that Benedict XVI wasn't allowed to do. It'll be a significant point if the next pope is not only Ratzingerian because he was named by Ratzinger, but also because of his will to continue the cleaning up operations started by Benedict XVI and to follow his fight against the scandals within the Church. So all those cardinals who have been caught up in the Vatileaks scandal will be out of the running. Apparently a sort of tsunami of non-European candidates will fall upon the Roman Curia, and this could take the pontificate far away from Rome.
Giacomo Galeazzi, grazie per essere stato con noi.